transparency is irrelevant without accountability, and vice versa. And we know this because we've seen all the reports and the scandals and the emails and the recordings come out of all these big name politicians, and then nothing changes.
There's no punishment. There's
nothing.
No consequence.
And so, okay, I want to start a national conversation around government accountability. One of the things that I'm going to do when I'm elected is I'm going to hire a tech firm to build effectively like a public forum where constituents in my district can log on, verify their residency. They can be on there anonymously if they want, talk about local politics, all this stuff. But the main feature is that every time I vote on a piece of legislation, they will be able to approve or disapprove my vote on that piece of legislation. So they'll be able to see the legislation, kind of a plain English translation of it. The way legislation is written today in Congress is horrendous. There's a great, Justin Amash was on Andrew Yang's Yang Speaks podcast. You can listen to that episode. He'll tell you all about it. You'll be able to get some education about the topic, learn why I voted the way I voted, but then I will have a public scorecard of how representative I am of my district. And this is really important because right now, the only systems of accountability we have are like these private channels of like emails and phone calls, which can just be ignored. And then elections every 2 or 4 or 6 years, which isn't really accountability. It's just like, because it's a competitive race and there's all these other things going on and the voting system sucks. It's like, that's not really accountability. And then like polls about like, do you like your representative every, couple months or years or whatever it is? It's like, again, that's not real accountability. Real accountability is like every step of the way, the people are checking you and saying, yes, I like this. No, I don't like this. And the really cool part about this idea is that like, this is going to be open source. I'll just be the guinea pig. I'll be the first one. We'll work out the kinks. We'll get it all going. We'll try to get a system in place to include people who aren't connected over the internet or aren't tech savvy. So like packets of like, here are all the things I voted on. Like fill out this form and send it back in, and we'll include it in the results. But that costs a lot more money. But once we've got the kinks worked out on me, and because it's open source, this can be applied to every elected representative in the country without their consent. And again, this is just the beginning of the conversation around government accountability. Like there are going to be all sorts of incredible, great ideas that people come up with when we just start having the conversation and thinking about it. But we're not even talking about it yet.